think we're live.
The red button is on, so we're live.
It says live. How's it going, guys? It is a Parent Like a Champ week. So, hope you guys are having some Parent Like a Champ moments over the last 2 weeks. Because I definitely had one a few days ago, a couple weeks ago. Should I tell them about my amazing parent moment?
I don't know that it was, I mean, it was both of ours. I can't blame you, you can't blame me. We sort of both, it was winner, winner, chicken dinner kind of moment.
So, Parent Like a Champ moment for you guys. And I want to hear about your best Parent Like a Champ moments. Because I'm going to share a good one. I'm going to share a good one. I promised y'all this the last couple of weeks here.
You're not alone.
Hey, Tyrell. Good evening. Hey, how's it going, man? Okay, so about 2 weeks ago, we had a mud run, and it was kind of required as a black belt testing requirement. Community building, part of their training, go get dirty, a lot of, fitness, all of that stuff. So, right, we had gone and done the mud run, ran home, and do a quick shower, because then we go back to our main location, and we have a black belt test prep class. And so we have 50 people that get on the mat. We had 100, a little over 100 people at the 106 at the mud run, and then we had 50 people meet us back at our main location at our headquarters. Hey, Pauline, how's it going? Long time no hear, girl. Ran 4 miles. Nice, girl. That's so anyway, we come in from the mud run, and I run in. I gotta get a quick shower so I can get back to the school so we can teach 3 more hours of classes. And
I had gotten here first.
Glenanne got here before me.
I showered and I was like, okay, I'm headed to the school, get people checked in so people are not, because I knew that some people would be there waiting for us. So I left.
She leaves, and one of our instructors from one of our other locations was here as well doing the mud run. Pops in and needs to take a shower. He'd gotten into some ants, so he had ant bites on him from the mud run. He's like, hey, can I shower off at your place? I'm like, yeah. So I come through, and he's in the shower. And when I come out of the shower, I'm about to leave to go back to the school. Glenanne had already left to go back to teach classes, and I'm about to head out the door. And so I go through the house, and I say, okay, guys, is anybody home? And I'm yelling through the house, Trinity, Slade, anybody here? I'm fixing to leave.
Lexi had gone with me, right?
Lexi had gone with you, and I believe Slade was with you. And so I get to the school, and we're about to start the test prep class, and somebody comes in.
Oh, sorry,
move,
Molly.
baby, move. Somebody comes in and says, hey, your daughter's still at the house. My Parent Like a Champ moment.
Crying.
Here's the funny thing. Our kids don't have cell phones. Yeah. Our 19-year-old has a cell phone, but our 2 younger kids, they don't need cell phones, right?
No.
Right? So here's the win. The win is she had been listening, and we have one of those Google Home things, right? Where you can say, hey, Google, turn on some music or whatever, or hey, Google, what is something? And so we have one of those. And she had heard us talking about it, how you could make phone calls. So she goes over to the Google and tells the Google to call Glenanne, and it did. And it called our school.
We can laugh about this now. I felt terrible.
I felt horrible, right? I felt so bad because I should have ran upstairs and checked, but I was yelling, hey, I gotta go. Is anybody still in the house? Hello, anybody here? Okay, I'm leaving.
On the side note of it, I was like, baby, I'm so proud of you for thinking about that, because we do. You pound your kids, what are you going to do if an emergency happens? What are you going to do? And, she was upset because she was scared, because she was like, everybody's gone, they left me. But
we didn't leave it on purpose.
The clear-headedness, if that's a word.
New word.
Yeah, to use technology, which, sometimes we love technology and then sometimes we hate it.
Right.
But to use that, and so I was like, I'm so proud of you for thinking about that. Good job.
Right. That's awesome. So anyway, that's my Parent Like a Champ story for the last 2 weeks for you guys. I'm sure I've had a lot more of them. But I need you guys to share some Parent Like a Champ stories with me in the comments below so we can all laugh at you like you just probably laughed at me, right? Awesome. All right, guys. So tonight we're going to talk about...
Go to bed, sister. Good night. Good night.
You need Molly?
Yes.
I'll
Okay.
bring her up in a minute. Good
No,
night.
just get her. Just get her.
She needs to go to the bathroom. This is live at our house.
Live.
No, she needs to go outside, sister. No, she has to go outside. Thank you.
Okay. So anyway, we're still
Intermission.
getting
Okay, we're
intermission.
back.
We're still getting
Sorry,
bedtime settled
happening.
in, right? So this week, the comment says, the post says, "Gone fishing." Let's see. Ryan Golding, hey sir, I'm sorry for being behind schedule. Glad to be tuning in. Oh, hey Ryan, no problem, man. We actually don't know when you pop in or out. I'm just kind of lucky to catch that. Good stuff. Tyrell says, "I have no kids. It's okay, man. Don't worry about it. Maybe you can have a kid moment with one of your, siblings, nieces, or nephews or something one of these days, and you can share that with us." So, all right. Gone fishing. So tonight I just want to talk a little bit about sometimes you just got to forget everything and maybe just go fishing. So this just kind of hit really today. This afternoon, I had planned on taking my youngest son to get him a haircut right after school. Got it set up, had it arranged. And this afternoon, I thought, we're pretty well staffed. I'm going to go ahead and not go into the school and just spend a little time with him. And I haven't done that in a while, specifically with him. And I tried during the school year, maybe one afternoon a week, to kind of dedicate to some time off with the kids to not have them at the school because they live there, they grew up there, which we love and they love for the most part. But so came home, "What do you want to do, man?" He said, "I want to play ball." So we're out playing ball in the driveway and messing around outside. And I walk into the garage and I see a fishing pole standing in the corner that I had actually bought like several years ago with the intent of taking them fishing. And I still haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I was like, we're trying to get fishing poles. We actually had those. I didn't
Right.
even remember we had those.
So I saw it as I walked by and I said, "I've got an idea." So I took him and I got the fishing rod and some fishing tackle and we drove to a little lake that's like literally 2 miles down the road from our house. Just a little bitty pond of a lake. In Texas, it's not much of a lake, but and we went out there and just sat on the tailgate of the pickup and he practiced for a long time just learning how to use a rod and reel, just how to cast a little weight out into the water and reel it back in. But the point of the story is a few things, kind of multifold, if I can, is sometimes it was hard for me just to kind of shut down and forget about everything and just walk away. Super difficult to do.
I mean, how many times do you have stuff that's going on with your kids and you're sitting they're doing something, but you're sitting at the side working on your phone? You're using, we talk about that technology, and you're using it to get something done because you don't feel like you have a spare minute to just sit back and watch them cast a rod into the lake.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. You're probably thinking, okay, so the kid went out and practiced casting a little weight on the end of his fishing line into the lake and reeling it back in. And it was kind of cool because as I sat and watched him, I stuck my phone to the side. And we just sat there and kind of talked, and he was telling me stories and casting his little line out there. And actually, I had to tell him it was time to stop and come home after over an hour of just standing there doing that. Eventually, I did tie a little lure on there, and we pretended we were fishing a little bit, right? But it was great. So the point is just kind of, hey, what are we gonna talk about? I had a kind of a different plan for tonight, but Glenn Ann said, I think this is the topic. Sometimes as parents, we just parent like a champ. We just have to kind of shut everything else off and zero in on our kids. And give them our undivided attention, which I don't always do great. It's hard.
And the thing is, this is the thing though, because Chip had actually messaged me and I was like, it's good for him, but it's also great for you because we as parents need those moments too, where we feel like, the world shut down and I did what I think we all want to do it, but sometimes we just feel so pressured by the other things that are going on that we feel like we need to focus on those other, I would love to do that right now. I just can't do it right now. And sometimes you just have to stick up the sign that says "Gone fishing," and you just got to go. And so the thing that we want you guys to share is if you had just, kind of like bucket list of something that if I just could just put the sign up and said, I'm sorry, but we have closed down, we have closed down, whatever that closed down means. If we just said, I don't care if we have homework, I don't care if we have, dishes to do, I don't care if we have laundry to do, we're going to go fill in the blank. What would that thing be that you would do? And then the next challenge is after you think about that, not just what would it be that you would do, but what's actually what really is keeping you from doing it. Because here's the thing, I think everybody that's listening that does have kids, if you listed out priorities, your kids would be, and your family would be up really high on your list. 1, 2, 3 up there really high in your top priorities. But sometimes we just have to look at what we're doing, and we say that they're a priority, but is that, if somebody, we've talked about this like with our instructors at the Taekwondo school, if this was a silent movie and nobody could see, nobody could hear what you're saying, would they, just by your actions and your body language and what you do, would they be able to see that you absolutely love your job? Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing as parents. If it were a silent movie and somebody was watching you, would they be able to see that you absolutely love
being there in that moment?
Being there in the moment. Yeah, no, I don't think that there's a question about loving your kids, but I think it's the question of, are you there? And so the challenge that, first of all, you guys have to share with us something to make us feel better about leaving our kid at home. So something that you've done that's been a dummy moment.
She just called me a dummy. Did you call me a dummy?
Hey, I was in on that too.
You left before me. I'm the one that left the kid.
Yeah, but I should have said, okay, I should have let you know, okay, I've got Slade, I've got Lexi, you have the other one, the Trinity, please. and then the other one is if you could just, drop everything and also knowing, I wouldn't ever have thought about that. What do you have that's just laying around that you thought, one of these days I'm going to teach them how to
X. What would it be?
And what would it be? And,
right.
God, what are you waiting on? Are you waiting on them to be 19 and able to do everything themselves? And then you go, oh, God, I missed that.
Missed that opportunity, right? And I've probably missed some opportunities myself.
I think we all have. And you can't, the thing is, you can't right. focus on that. It's kind of like those quotes that it's like the best time to start was yesterday and the second best time is today.
Right now.
You you can't look back and go, well, gosh, it's just so late. I'm just too bad. No, go.
So I have a few thoughts on this that I really feel compelled to share. I want to share with you is when you're thinking about this, you're thinking to yourself, I just don't have time or I'm too busy. And the reason I know is because I've lived that life.
Oh,
for forever. I've talked about this before on these videos, probably, that our oldest, our 19-year-old, didn't have an actual birthday party with a birthday cake for probably the first 10 or 12 years of her life.
Just and I don't think that people think, I think sometimes people think that we say that as like a brag of our dedication or whatever, and it's really not. It was
because her birthday happened right in the heat of kind of my training season, getting ready for something that my mind was going, okay, I'm going to pass over this now and I'll come back to it later because I've got to build a future for her. And so, we probably missed out on a lot of things. But anyway, it's beside the point. We all feel that way sometimes. So I want you guys to think about this. When we were put here, I think God put us here to steward the next generation. Who was the most immediate next generation in your life? It's your kids. My parents beat into my head, not literally, but figuratively many times, that you groom the next generation to be better than the last, right? And so they would tell me, you're supposed to be better than us. You're supposed to do better than us. You're supposed to be better, and so on and so forth. And we're not keeping a scorecard, so we don't know if that's true or not. It's irrelevant. But that's kind of the motivation. It's like, be better, continue to grow, improve, make things better, make the world a better place, right? And so here's the reality. I think when you walk away from work, whether it be homework, your work, schoolwork, life, and just put your heart and your mind into your kids, which is what God wants you to do, the God that I believe in took a breath and made all of this happen, you're going to be okay, right? When that God is on your team. And so my point is this: if you're doing it with the right heart and the right mind, I don't think you can fail. Because in the big giant picture, that's what we got put here for, was to steward our children and parent them. And so don't feel guilty and don't skip out on that time because you're afraid that you're not going to get the time back or you're going to miss out on something else, because the most important thing is your wife and your kids, right? And then the next thing is just make a commitment to drop it all and focus on them. In other words, what I mean is, this sounds a little cold and callous, maybe put a day every 2 weeks, once a month, or every week on your calendar that you go, for 3 hours this afternoon, I'm shutting completely off to the world and I'm going to focus on my family. Okay.
And I'm going to turn my phone to do not disturb. I'm not going to be constantly looking up. Oh, I just missed that.
I'm going to leave my phone to the side.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave my electronics and my connection to the world, right? And then I want to challenge you because, we all know we need to drop things sometimes and spend time, face-to-face time, hand-to-hand, play time with our kids and our family. And inside we're going, but I need to do this and I need to do that and I have all these things. I want to liken it to when you are training regularly at a gym. You're going to your martial arts class and you're consistent and you're feeling great. And then you have a night where you go, man, I just don't feel it. I don't want to go, or I feel a little off of my game, or I feel a little sick. But you go anyway. The feeling after is amazing. So when you do discipline yourself to taking that time and spending it on your kids where you're supposed to be.
I think they floated into the house this afternoon.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I mean,
right?
Both of them. They were like
he couldn't
walking.
wait to get out of the pickup and get into the house to see and tell about, and it was such, in the big picture, such a small thing, but so big in that little world of his, right?
Well, and I think one other little piece of that is it didn't require a fast pass at Disney World. It didn't require, spending thousands of dollars on some sort of big, epic adventure.
Right.
It was free.
And guys, guess what? There were some side benefits because I got to kick the 4-wheel drive in on the old Dodge. And we ran through some pretty fun mud holes. He thought that was cool too, right? So I got lots of fun out of the whole deal, right?
Is it clean?
So
is the pickup clean?
The pickup is disgusting right now.
Nice. So the driveway
the
is
way it
disgusting
should
too.
look, the way it should look. Okay, so guys, just remember, when your heart's in the right place, your mind's in the right place, and you're doing things for the right reason. I don't know, it's just weird. I go back to, when we took over our business, Scared Lost Kids, but I think our heart was in the right place. It just works. It just works. And it's like tithing. It's like getting married. You're scared. It's like having your first kid or your second or third. You're scared to death. But if your heart's in the right place and you're doing it for the right reasons, and you're serving correctly, God will make it happen. So and what I'm talking about is take that time. Just shut yourself off. Schedule on your calendar if you have to, make it happen. So your 3 hacks. Number 1 are just do it. Number 2 is plan it, put it on the calendar and just do it. And number 3 is just do it. That's it. 3 hacks. Just do it. Take some time. Walk away from everything.
It's almost like the real estate thing. Location.
Location, baby.
Well,
Gotta have it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Parent like a champ. Okay. Bible verse, Philippians 4:6 says, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. So, yes, full transparency. I had to look the word supplication up again. I've looked it up before, and it means to basically beg or ask for deeply and sincerely, earnestly and humbly. But do not be anxious about anything. I guess the point really is the reason we felt this fit was it was hard to walk away because the school is running. There are trials going on the mat. There are things happening, but I had to not be anxious about that stuff and just take a moment and sincerely look at my son and say, what would you like to do? And let him pick that, because they don't get to pick a whole lot, right? Which leads me to something else. What is your parenting style? And I think we may talk about this next time. Let me know what you think, but there are 3 basic parenting styles. You can be an authoritarian, You can be passive or you can be authoritative. I don't know. Let me know what you think.
Yeah.
But and we may talk about that next week, or not next week, but next Parent Like a Champ, 2 weeks. So that's your Bible verse, Philippians 4:6. Don't be anxious. Put it on God. Let Him carry it. And I think make sure He knows your heart whenever you do what you do, and make sure your heart's in alignment maybe with what He wants. And I believe what He wants for us as parents is to be parents, to steward our children.
Yep. So don't forget, share those things. Share your stories with us.
Please don't leave me as the only one to embarrass myself by leaving my kid at home.
And then also
by the way, that's not
share
the first time.
Share your, gone fishing.
Yeah, share a gone fishing moment, man. What is your thing? What would you do with your kids?
What would you do if nothing else mattered? And the thing is, a lot of times we say nothing else matters. Well, then what's holding us back from it?
And let us know what you think about your parenting style.
Yep.
Are you an authoritarian? That's probably what most people think I am. Passive or authoritative? I don't know. So we'll talk about it in a couple of weeks. You guys go out there and parent like a champ.
Yeah,
have an
I'm
amazing
curious
night.
about this too, because I straight up know I'm not passive, but I'm not sure about the authoritarian stuff.
She's not passive.
No.
And I don't encourage anybody to be, but hey, it is what people do sometimes. So you guys go have a great night, a great week. Next week we'll be having a Married Like a Champ. So I'm gonna kind of throw this out there, because I almost on a daily basis have someone somewhere mention to me that they enjoy what we're doing, whether it be Parent Like a Champ, Married Like a Champ, Motivate Monday, martial arts tips, whatever it is. And so we share in several areas because we feel compelled to. And I do a lot. So with that said, if you enjoy these guys, I just ask that you share them, comment on them, and let us know what you're thinking. Because I'm actually shocked at the people that walk up to me fairly regularly. Yeah, it's like, absolutely humbling.
Oh, wow.
And say, oh, I love your videos, or I love the message you're delivering. So if you do, we would like to hear from you, because honestly, sometimes we kind of wonder, are we hitting deaf ears, or are people really enjoying it? And we hope you are. And again, we're not experts. We're just here to share. I think in the big picture, I'm probably talking too much, but our world is one of our big family builds culture. Family is what our nation was built on. Family. And parenting's a big piece of that. So, all right, guys. And marriage is a big piece of that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's huge. Awesome. Have a great week. Thank you all for jumping on with us. See you soon.
Bye-bye.